Hello, everyone. Welcome to Throwback Thursday. This Throwback Thursday is very, very different. This time, I actually have 10 questions that I'm going to answer. Of course, if you guys have questions for me to answer through Throwback Thursday when it comes to The Simpsons or anything, you can definitely put it down below. But I got 10 questions right here. Number one, when it comes to Herb Powell, could he actually have made the Camunero? Well, the thing is about her Powell, if you actually saw like the episode after he got into becoming poor, he actually said that when he comes to cars, he actually names them like exotic names from Japan, like Fasarosa or something like that. So, with that said, that means that technically, when it comes to the Canyonero, he definitely didn't have any part in the Canyonero. He couldn't really have any part in Canyonero anyways, because chances are he'll have a different name than that. So yeah, that one's like a little bit debunked. Next is when it comes to Gabbo, what inspired him? What inspired that character to be made? Well, I don't really have any facts, but chances are I would say when it comes to thinking about it, it most likely would be Howdy Doody, which I'm definitely not going to talk about that. But one thing is that I really would like to say he is, because it seems to me that Gabbo actually has been cursed, quote unquote. So chances are I think he most likely came from an inspiration of Slappy the Living Dummy. It makes perfect sense. I don't have anything to actually prove it, but it kind of makes sense because, well, even though Slappy is kind of a bad guy, technically Gabo is somewhat a bad guy as well. He actually cusses, unlike what Slappy does, which Slappy just does pranks and crap. Next up is the Murphy family. When it comes to Bleeding Gums Murphy, who is his family entirely? So, for everyone who actually is like, huh? So, Bleeding Gums Murphy, technically his true last name is Hibbert. So, we got Dr. Hibbert, we got Dr. Hibbert's twin brother, who is Julio Hibbert, technically. You have his dad, who actually has been inspired by Red Fox, aka the dad from Sanford and Son. And, well, they really need to have an episode to tie in everything together of why exactly, out of three kids, he chooses just one and he sends the other two to go to a orphanage. Well, he sent the twin to the orphanage, but as for Bleeding Gums Murphy, he just said he has a long lost younger brother who actually becomes a doctor. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but it would be nice with a tight little bow. They just take one episode of The Simpsons and actually confront this. But sadly, that day might not ever come. So it's kind of sad. But I think chances are that grandfather Hibbert, chances are he knows what happened to Bleeding Gums Murphy. He knows where all his kids are. It's just that he most likely won't say crap about it. And of course, for Dr. Hibbert, he actually does have a family. He has two sons, one daughter, of course, a wife, and that's about all we can tell. We have no idea about Hibbert's mom. But that is basically all of them. And also, he has like a cousin or something that was on his wife's side. But that doesn't really matter, does it? But anyways, that's all the family Bleeding Gums Murphy actually has. As for who came to his funeral, we're not really sure. I would hope that Dr. Hibbert would actually put two and two together, and most likely he came, or if not, maybe his dad came, but no one actually knew that his dad actually came. Alright, next up is it actually believable that Selma Bouvier actually married all those people? And I say yes. Yes, it really is. And of course, you can definitely check out the annotation that you guys see. Well, actually, we'll tell you more about all the marriages, the ones that we see, and as for the ones we don't see, well, I don't know what to tell you on those. Next is, will the Weasel brothers, will the little Weasels return to Springfield? Actually, they did. Yeah, well, first they went from Springfield Elementary, Shelbyville, to Springfield Elementary again. and there's no explanation of why they returned, or maybe the writers needed some write-in characters, and because they didn't remember that they moved to Shelbyville, they were like, ah, it's okay, we're just gonna write them in. So they write them back in as side characters, but we're not gonna really actually ever hear them actually speak ever again. So they are back in Springfield. There is no explanation why. Maybe it's because the schooling's better. But no idea actually why did they return. Will Mindy ever return with a role in The Simpsons? Well, Mindy was voiced by Michelle Pfeiffer, and if they're able to actually get Michelle Pfeiffer back, they could actually use Mindy Simmons yet again. But of course, it's like a toss-up. No idea when they ever bring them back. I mean, they brought Danny DeVito back, but it's no idea. Oh yeah, and also Glenn Close, but they never actually showed that they're actually going to bring like more guest stars back. So that's kind of like a sad thing of Mindy here. Next up is will showcase episodes return to Springfield? Will return on The Simpsons? Sadly, no. The person who actually did that was Troy McClure, and his voice actor actually died. Yeah, a tragic accident. You definitely learn more about Troy McClure in the annotation. But sadly, no. No more showcase episodes to return. They could do it. I mean, they could actually do it. But I think they grew too far away from actually having a showcase episode these days. They grew too far away from it. But I swear, when it comes to the Kane and Kodos episode, I would have preferred to actually have a showcase episode than that episode exists. I'm just telling you, truth be told. Here's one good one, and this one actually is just dealing with Lego Simpsons minifigures. Is Willies minifigure accessory actually good? Did they actually have a good choice on bringing that minifigure with a plunger? No, they did not do their homework. One thing we can see in The Simpsons is that groundskeeper Willie rarely uses or never uses a plunger. I mean, when it comes to it, they have three choices of what they could have chose. The first one was so freaking easy, it's not even funny. Just bring the freaking oh crap, what was the name of it? The Irish or Scottish musical instruments. That, because they did that one. They did that in the 7th series, the series 7 of Lego minifigures. So all they needed to do was just come with paint that thing, and then there you go. Oh my gosh, it's just so freaking damn easy, but they didn't do it. The other thing that could have been innovative, and then I have another one that's more innovative, is another thing they could have done is just a mop and bucket. You see them with a mop and bucket more than anything. More than anything, you see them with a mop and bucket. The mop and bucket, he actually has a bond with it because on Taco Tuesday, there was a major stampede. So when it came to going to the storage closet, either A, he could have put himself in the storage closet and a mop and bucket would get stomped on, or he actually put the mop and bucket in the storage room and then he'd get trampled over. Guess what he chose? Guess what he chose? Last but not least is a build that they could actually throw in. And this build will actually become a leaf blower. That would have been cool. That would have been like one of the coolest things they could have ever done. And they did make like a few builds before, like the axe that came with the Minotaur and some other things. But this would actually have been something cool that they could have done. But oh well. You guys didn't actually look up this character. Alright, next up is, did I forgot a place that the Simpsons lived? Actually, I did. When it came to like one certain thing that happened and they needed to escape, let's see, what was it? I think it was something Homer did. But anyways, they were able to get recruited in a TV station or a TV channel, and the TV channel basically was like, alright, you're going to go into this house and live the way that the Pilgrims lived. And that means like anything that was made in 1885, anything that's made after that they can't have, like Oreos or tampons and etc. etc. And then they shake more things up with Squiggy. And then after that, they actually put the house on a river, and then the river actually landed them into a, yeah, yeah, there's like lots of crap that happened. I mean, does that even count as a place they lived? I mean, kind of, but on the other hand, it's like, it's not a boat. This actually is just a house, and not only that, but yeah, that I guess it kind of works. And anyway, Squiggy lived with them too, and Squiggy actually died. Dude, man. Okay, last but not least is the song that they actually did in one showcase called "You Never Stop the Simpsons." Have no fear, we got stories for you. So they have like 4 things in here that they actually said that they would most likely do. Maybe. Number 1 is that they said Marge turned into a robot. And we only see Marge turns into a robot in a couch gag, but everyone is a robot in the couch gag that I'm talking about. Well, they became a robot. And in another one, Homer had a daydream about Marge turning into a robot, and of course she went rogue. Number 2 is Moe gets a cell phone. It might actually have happened, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure. I think he might have had a cell phone, but I'm not really sure he actually did. Bart gets a bear, or has a bear or something like that. So, no, Bart never actually owned a pet bear. But on the other hand, Homer did save a bear and got him into a wildlife reserve. Does that actually count? If that counts, then yes. But other than that, it's like, no, Bart never actually had a pet bear. Which I bet chances are they would make like some kind of story of a Russian circus. And the Russian circus lost the bear to a bet or some kind of crap. And then Bart got the bear or something like that. Well, anyways, last not least is you have Selma and Abe, aka What About a Crazy Wedding? So, yeah, when it comes to Selma and Abe Simpson, it took them a long while, but they actually did marry each other for that one episode. And then, sadly, Abe Simpson was just too old. And since he was too old, they had to get a divorce. So that's what happened with that one. And as for crazy weddings, yes, there were so many crazy weddings. Mostly by Selma. Mostly by Selma. I'm not sure that during that song does all of Selma's actually fit. But I think some of Selma's actually fit. And I think the sea captain actually married his piece on a ship. And there's like so many other things. This was when Homer actually became a pastor by online. Or at least, yeah. So he was able to marry people. So I think chances are mostly all of those have been answered except for, well, 2 out of 4. Because I don't remember Moe having a cell phone. And as for Bart actually having a bear, if I heard it right, is no. No, Bart never actually had a bear that he cared for and had as a pet. Only thing that happened was just Homer got attacked by a bear. And then after Homer learning that his honing beacon actually was hurting him and tasing him, he actually decided to help him to freedom instead of getting hunted by a hunter. Anyways, hopefully this was very fun for you guys. So thank you for watching, and make sure you guys actually checked out all those annotations as you saw. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.